Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Dimitri's Desk. This is episode 12. It is September 3rd. Wow, it's already September 3rd. Time flies. All right, as always, we're going to take a look at the most important charts for Btc, IOST, ETH, EOS. Looks like a green day for most of the coins today. We had quite a bit of a bump for BTC, a little bit of a relief from last time. We're going to talk about the volumes. We're going to look through the indicators that we use and where they are now and where things might be heading. So we have a packed episode. As always, we're going to look at COT report again and crypto fear index. So let's get rolling. All right, as always, we're going to jump into IOST USD daily chart first. We're going to take a look at the price action here. Looks like not much has happened since last time. I mean, we did dip down a little bit, but we're still hanging around that 0.7 as being the mark right now. Looks like OBV and the volume is still showing relatively, it's still showing relative strength. If you take a look at the 4-hour chart on it, OBV has been climbing drastically, and you can see these spikes in a volume of buying volume, and you can see how faded the selling volume is. So this is why we see OBV is trending higher. So this is something I covered in the last episode where we talked about volume driving the price, and this is exactly what we want to see before the price starts recovering for the rest of the market. So it looks like right now we're still a little bit lagging for IOST, but time will tell. Volume obviously dictates the price, and we'll see if we can recover that penny mark that we've been talking about for a while and continue higher from there. There's a lot of fundamental news involved with IOST particularly, but we're not going to cover that. We covered that on the podcast. So take a look at that. For now, we're looking at just technical information that we have here in terms of price action, and looks like RSI and OBV are not showing anything significantly bearish. As a matter of fact, OBV is showing a bullish indication for the volume going consistently higher. So this is something that I'll be watching very closely, obviously, and we'll see how the price continues to rebound from the levels that we see right now. ETH USD, just like last time I mentioned, we're still in the recovery phase for the price action. It looks like we made that bottom here at 165, and we came up to 180. But again, like I said, if ETH is below 200, I wouldn't be interested in it right now, especially given the fact that we're looking at OBV, and OBV is just moving sideways as the price is going lower. Not a significant indication, therefore, for the potential upside as the volume is kind of dying out for Ether and moving sideways as the price is moving lower. RSI, it's not really showing anything meaningful as well. So right now I'm kind of staying away from it where it's in that decision moment. Either we're going to obviously break that 200 and continue higher, where I'm going to start picking entries for a long side, or if we continue lower, I did mention like some of the important levels of like 150, 125 that I'll be watching if we do come down to that level to see how the price reacts. But for now, it's essentially sit tight situation for ETH USD. As a matter of fact, speaking of sit tight situations, the biggest one been like that for a while is EOS USD. As you can see, EOS USD continues to deliver interesting price range of different wicks where there's really no meaningful direction decided for EOS USD. It's literally moving sideways. OBV is moving sideways to the downside. RSI is not moving anything significant. It looks like a lot of chop is happening. Like I said, I'm not interested in EOS until it recovers to $5, and then I'll start looking at it for potential to the upside. But right now, at the moment, it looks like we're still holding that $3 mark, even though we poked at it, like I mentioned last time. And looks like we're still moving sideways. Not much of volatility inside EOS USD. Now, speaking of volatility, we did have quite a bit of a bounce on Btc USD. Now, this is very interesting. Last time I was talking about how we were dropping off and there's a potential for us to drop off even lower. But I will be looking for those candle formations to see if there's going to be any type of rebound, because you obviously don't want to be caught in that. And as you can see, we did get that. We did have some pretty good candle closes on a daily basis right around August 31st, August 30th. we did have a come up of, since those levels, as high as almost 15%, and we have a green day today as well. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be continuing higher, because if you take a look at the OBV, the volume that we've been dealing with lately, it's been kind of moving sideways, and the buying volume that we were getting here right now is nothing as significant as what we want to see for BTC to go higher. So right now we see OBV volume, the buy sell volume, is kind of relatively still within this range that we have outlined here. We came up a little bit, obviously, because of the price movement to the upside, but we are approaching some significant resistance levels. So if you did catch this move, it would be a good time to start looking for some profit taken in case we hit resistance and the price action moves downwards. So right now, obviously, I have some of these levels outlined. We actually recovered all the way up to that pin that I was talking about, or the hammer formation that I was talking about on the last podcast. Which is pretty significant, because essentially what happened was the sellers took it all the way down to low 9,000s, and then we recovered all the way back up to the high of that pin, which is 10.7K. I'll be watching this very closely as we continue to move higher, and for those that are looking for entries to the long side, be very cautious, because you're already buying at a move that already has happened pretty quickly, and if you didn't catch that, there's no need to chase it, because there's going to be another opportunity that's going to offer you a better risk-reward ratio. For example, if you did pick it up around these candles right here, you did have a possibility to have that risk-reward ratio where you can just set the stop below the previous candle and reap the rewards that might come for the price action to appreciate. So if you did have that quick stop, congratulations, you did make a really good risk assessment of the placement of this price action, and you executed on it, and you got rewarded about 15% for that. So congratulations for that. As far as the price action right now and where we might be heading, like I said, I'll be looking for some resistance hitting us very soon, given the indications of the volume and where things are right now. There's a possibility for another pullback before we actually make it out of this triangle formation per se, as I have it outlined here. So that's BTC USD. Now let's hop into COT report. Now, commitment of traders we looked at multiple times on previous episodes, and we looked at asset managers and we looked at dealers. I'm going to refer to dealers this time again, because it's interesting to see how this the sell side is positioning itself. Sell side being the institution that sells this product, not the client who's actually buying or selling Bitcoin futures. It's actually the platform that offers it. So they take the other side, meaning that if the institutional trader buys BTC futures, then that institution is selling it to them. So they basically hold the other side, or what they can do is offset that right away with another trader or with a third party entity. So this is why actually you can see most of the time they're kind of neutral when it comes to, this is a 3 months chart, by the way. Most of the time they're neutral because they're offsetted 1-to-1. They don't want to hold any type of risk on one-sided book, let's say, if it's a sell or buy position that they're looking to take. But they definitely want to make money, and they see opportunity in the market, and sometimes their books get a little bit skewed. So they'll leave some short positions, or they'll leave some buy positions on their books to capitalize on the move in the market. And this is what we've been seeing for the last 3 reports that we've gotten from COT, and based on their books, it looks like they're still holding that net short on their books for now. So this is something interesting. They see something in the market where they can make money off downward pressure on BTC. Therefore, they're not offsetting their short positions. So they see an opportunity for BTC USD to go lower before they actually square away their books and maybe get back to neutral. So it looks like COT reports continue to show that the institution, the sell side institution for BTC futures, sees a potential for downward pressure for BTC in the short term. All right, let's take a look at the fear and greed index. As you can see, we're still in fear. 41 is being the number. Yesterday it was 28, so we did get a little bit of a pop as the price action moved higher. So this is perfectly normal, but overall the theme of the market is still in fear in general. For BTC, based on this index, it looks like we're coming up to that level that we've seen before, 41 on August 26. So again, this is a good indicator to kind of see where things are. If you are a long-term buyer where a short-term price volatility doesn't matter and the entry itself doesn't really matter, then this is a good opportunity to start picking it up. However, if you're a short-term trader and you're trying to make trades based on a very short-term period of time and volatility that happens in between weeks, months, and so on, then this indication itself might not actually trigger a specific entry for you, because if you start picking entries here and we retrace 20-25% from where we are now, then your short-term trade might not really benefit from that. But this is for a longer period of time. If you're looking to enter the market, this might be a good time to start picking it up, as the entry point itself is not as relevant as it is for short-term traders. We still keep track of this just to see the sentiment of the retail traders and see where they are right now. Again, we're still in fear, so we're going to keep watching and see if we can actually come up out of that. Now, as always, we're going to take a look at the BTC dominance versus total market cap. Looks like similar development. We have BTC dominance rising and overall total market cap falling behind. So we can see quite a bit of a difference here from August 26th to 29th and the 30th, as you see BTC dominance rising, the total market cap falling. This is something we've discussed many times on previous episodes, where you essentially have a situation where you have traders holding altcoins that are cashing out because the project and the price is not making any significant moves right now, and they're trying to capture the move in BTC, especially with products like BitMEX, Bybit, that offer leverage where you can amplify those moves and turn them into higher returns or higher losses. Obviously, it goes both ways. So this is something that we keep track for those alt season hodlers per se. So if we see total market cap going up and BTC going down, then this could be a rotation out of BTC into alts. And overall, if we do see BTC dominance going higher and the total market cap going higher, then this can actually just show you that the market is turning around, where BTC is going higher as well as the alts in the market. But right now, it looks like that's not the case. It looks like BTC continues to dominate this market in the current times, and we'll see how that continues to develop going forward. Now, speaking about margin trading and altcoins, I talked a lot about how volume moves the price, not the price moving the volume. So this is a really great article that came out from Zach Lee, one of my colleagues. I worked with him on Wall Street for quite some time. We were both in FX business. Very sharp guy, knows a lot about trading from institutional side as well as the retail side. So he outlined here basically in this article, very short article, but very concise and straight to the point. I recommend you give it a read to understand more about how price moves the volume and why some of the alts are suffering while BTC is essentially going higher and dominating. So take a look here. It's in our blog post on ICOalert.com. That's about it for today's episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave any feedback or comments about the information that you've received. Hopefully you liked it. And as always, happy trading.